Welcome to today's episode, where we're examining the impending legal showdown at the Supreme Court involving TikTok. This case has sparked an intense debate about the intersection of freedom of speech and national security. Dr. Reed, could you elucidate how this legal conflict has come to the fore?
Certainly, at its core, this case is unprecedented. It challenges the limits of the First Amendment. The crux is whether TikTok's operations in the U.S. pose a national security threat by allowing excessive data collection and content manipulation, potentially endangering American interests. Historically, the court navigates such issues by applying strict scrutiny to see if the law is narrowly tailored to serve a compelling governmental interest.
An interesting point, indeed. However, critics argue that such a move may set a dangerous precedent in limiting digital speech. Considering past scenarios like Apple versus FBI, where does TikTok stand legally in terms of its First Amendment rights?
That's an important consideration. While TikTok can claim free speech protections, it faces an uphill battle. A 2020 appellate court decision reinforced the government's ability to act against foreign entities deemed security threats, highlighting the significant latitude given to national defense over commercial speech.
That's noteworthy. But what about the counterarguments emphasizing tech innovation and global digital exchange as crucial for progress? Could a ruling against TikTok have chilling effects on digital pioneers?
Indeed, there's worry about stifling innovation, especially if major tech players are deterred from international collaboration. Yet, some judicial minds argue that such measures are temporary, designed to safeguard fundamental national interests until a secure operational framework is instituted.
Let's pivot slightly to discuss the diplomatic dimension. There is talk of a 30 or 60-day delay on the TikTok ruling, potentially initiated by former President Trump to negotiate a deal. How might international diplomacy come into play here, Mr. Stevens?
Diplomacy could indeed alter the trajectory. If a stay is granted, it allows for behind-the-scenes negotiations not just between companies but governments as well. The delay can be likened to a pause button on a complex chess game where each move must consider potential retaliations and alliance shifts.
True, and such strategies could work to the advantage of all stakeholders involved. However, the urgency with which national security concerns are being raised suggests that diplomatic efforts might only offer a temporary solution. Don't you think the underlying geopolitical tensions, especially with China, complicate such negotiations significantly?
Absolutely, the geopolitical element cannot be overstated. The U.S.-China relationship is fraught with suspicion, and tech firms often become pawns in larger power plays. Even with diplomatic efforts, deep-rooted mistrust remains, often requiring more than mere economic agreements to ease. Successfully negotiating any deal under these circumstances requires unprecedented layers of mutual assurance.
Given the fractured trust, there's room for optimism in continued dialogue, promoting mutual tech innovations while enforcing stricter international digital governance. Is there a long-term diplomatic strategy that stakeholders might pursue to strike a balance?
Future strategies could involve establishing multinational coalitions that set universal data and security standards, minimizing the chance for tech disputes stemming from unilateral actions. This fosters cooperative advancement and might serve as a blueprint for future tech diplomacy.
Moving on to the practical impacts. Should the ban proceed, TikTok faces a mass exodus from the U.S. market. Mr. Carter, what are the potential economic and social repercussions of such a definitive ruling?
The ramifications are multifaceted. Economically, we're looking at a potential loss of jobs across numerous sectors reliant on the platform for marketing and engagement, not to mention the impact on ByteDance's valuation. Socially, it would ripple across millions of users who employ TikTok for creative expression and networking.
That's quite significant. But some argue that shifting the digital focus to other platforms could cushion the disruption. Could this scenario not also catalyze a renaissance for domestic tech innovation, effectively bolstering the digital economy?
Indeed, rechanneling user and developer focus towards homegrown applications could inspire innovation, making room for new market leaders. This disruption can act as a pressure cooker for creativity, spurring innovations that pivot off existing social media paradigms yet offer enhanced security conforming with national interests.
Looking forward, How can businesses dependent on TikTok diversify to mitigate risks tied to a platform-specific strategy? Are there best practices aligning digital survival with upcoming regulatory shifts?
Organizations must adopt multi-channel strategies that balance dependency across diverse digital ecosystems. Investing in analytics that predict user migration patterns while adapting offerings to new platforms is crucial. Aligning closely with regulatory trends will also assist in compliance and resilience amidst digital policy changes.
Our final segment will explore alternative scenarios for TikTok and ByteDance post-ruling. Ms. Lin, what options do you see for ByteDance should the court's decision be unfavorable?
ByteDance could explore divesting TikTok's U.S. operations to an American company, thereby aligning with national interests. Alternatively, they might enhance international operations, focusing on markets with less regulatory tension, leveraging their existing tech infrastructure for more regionalized content platforms.
A savvy move indeed, yet potential international markets come with inherent risks of their own, given regional data privacy concerns. What preventative steps might ByteDance take to successfully operate globally?
Mitigating these risks necessitates adopting data encryption and anonymization as standard practices. ByteDance can engage local legal experts and form partnerships to craft personalized strategies that adhere to regional data laws, ensuring trust while capturing diverse market shares.
These preventative measures certainly sound prudent. However, in a hypothetical landscape where global political climates harden against Chinese tech, what proactive diversification could ByteDance pursue to safeguard its future operations?
In such a scenario, diversification into domains like enterprise software or fintech might bolster ByteDance, spreading operational risks across sectors less vulnerable to geopolitical shifts. Harnessing AI and cloud technologies could unlock fresh opportunities within these arenas, driving sustainable business growth and resilience against international sanctions.